are live. All right. Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Yellow Couch. I am your host, Stephanie Harrington. Okay. Let me get my stuff ready. Okay, so welcome back for another week of another episode on the Yellow Couch. I am Stephanie Harrington, and I am so happy that you guys are able to come on in. Okay, so I want you guys to share this broadcast, because I feel like it's, even if it's not for you, it may be for someone you may know, and this may change their life in a great way. My topic tonight is going to be on feelings and emotion, and I believe that is one of my favorite topic, because mental prison is a place that only you can dig yourself out of, and sometimes a lot of us are trapped in our emotions and we don't even know. So it's one of my favorite topics tonight. So, and also in my book, there is a whole chapter on feelings and emotion. And guys, go on Amazon.com and check out my books by Stephanie Harrington. The name of it is Evolve. So yes, welcome to another week on the Yellow Couch, where we girls come together, and guys too, everyone, and we build, we grow, and we shine. We are doing life together, so we're helping each other, so I just want to say thank you guys for all the messaging and the comments and the emails. They mean a lot to me when I hear that what I am doing is helping you heal, is helping you build, is helping you grow, and ultimately shine. So I am so happy when I get those emails and those messages. It's just so overwhelming. And I thank God that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and doing what is necessary for whoever it's needed for. So I'm going to jump right into emotions and feelings. And this is going to be a sweet, sweet night. We may not finish it all tonight, but we have next week. So emotions and feelings. I believe that God communicates to us through our emotions and through our feelings. It's a chemical that is, released. They call it neurotransmitter, that releases in the body, that send a signal to the brain, and therefore produces a feeling, and that's what we feel. The emotions is the event sometimes that happens, and it allows you to remember the feeling you had, or the physical, emotional event, and the feelings you had when you have that event. It is said that you should not trust your feelings, but I differ with that. Because I feel like, to face your feelings, it takes a lot. You have to be a brave person. You have to say enough is enough. You have to be that person where you say, no matter what, I'm going all in. Facing your fears is looking in the mirror and facing yourself. It's taking responsibility. I don't believe all your feelings when the desire for pleasure is to cover up the pain. But if it's to face your fears in truth and deal with yourself in order to mature and to grow, trust your feelings. Because I believe that your feelings is God nagging at you or tugging at you or trying to communicate to you. I got to ask yourself questions. Why do I feel like this when this person is around? Why do I feel like this when this conversation arises? What kind of feelings? What is it that, bothers me so much? You got to go deep within. Sometimes you got to go back into your subconscious. So facing your feelings or trusting your feelings, as I should, trusting your feelings. I do think you should trust your feelings, but if it's to cover up your pain, for, using pleasure to cover up a pain, then I would say no. Okay, so the anchor today, I always have a scripture because that is my anchor. The anchor tonight is from Proverbs 23, verse 7. And it's, as a man thinketh in his heart is mine, heart is mine, so is he. Remember, this is the physical, it just pumps blood and, circulation. This is where all the thinking happens, the love and all that stuff happens. And in the mind. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So I have learned early. I've learned how to cover up my feelings very well. And I can wear my feelings on my shoulder like I was made for this. And that was me, when I, was out there still sleeping and, going along with the motions. My husband, life has trained him so well that you could have a conversation with him and his features on his face won't change no matter what you're telling him about, telling him. Me, on the other hand, you can be talking to me about something and I'm going to make oh, no. Or I'm going to be like, I'm going to let you know I'm upset. I'm going to let you know that I don't agree with that, I'm not so much like that now because I'm still a work in progress, but I'm being aware of that, so I am grateful for a husband that can do that, because sometimes I don't do the same thing. So yeah, so we wear our feelings on our shoulders. I'm sure you can identify with that. Somebody gets you upset at work and you just like letting that person know you are upset, and that feelings you're feeling is within, and they may not necessarily know how how you're, expressing that, how it hurts you or offended you, but you got to let them know. And that's what I call wearing it on your shoulders. When you show it, you show that. So some feelings, are physical, like physical emotional events can be feeling of tired. When you yawn, you're like, oh, you're like, that's a signal, I am tired. Or you start nodding off, you're like, okay, that person need to go take a nap. Or the feeling hunger, your stomach start turning or making that sound. And even for people or diabetes, who have diabetes, because I've had experience like that, when you start getting sweaty and shaky, your body's saying, oh, I'm hungry, I need some sugar right now, I need to get something in my system because my sugar is dropping. That's feeling. So that's an event that sends a signal to your brain that says, and then you feel that feeling of the event, and it says, okay, you need to do something to get this back on track. As I believe that feeling in itself is a language that is used for communication within yourself and you and God. It's the language, and it sends signals. As I said, it releases in the body as chemicals. So that's how the brain react to it. You ever go to the doctor or the hospital and they say to you, what's your level of pain? And you're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling right now? Because they cannot determine what's your pain level, because only you alone can feel that. Even if you're crying and screaming, your pain level on a 2, maybe crying and screaming, and my pain level on a 2, maybe just like, it's just a little pain, so our tolerance is different. It's individually measured. We do send signals to each other. When you see somebody you like, you're like, you send that signal, or you give that look, or, the person might send back another signal. So we do send signal, but we don't know what feeling. We could tell ourselves what we think they're feeling inside, but we really don't know. Like even, my dogs, I have sliding door in the back of my house, and they'd be looking out in the backyard and they may see a squirrel, and then you just see let their tail go bong, and their things on their back just rise, just they're ready to take off. That's another signal like, hey, there's trouble. I need to go get it. So sending signals, you can send signal or gesture, but that still is you who measure that level, and all of this play the role in how you react. It's your reaction in resolving those feelings. So I just shed some light as far as what feelings and emotional events are and how they coexist and depend on each other. Sometimes you go through things in life, it creates an emotion, and then that it carries a feeling. So you always remember it. I was watching a documentary once, and they're saying when they do advertising that they use certain things to send a message. It's like, violence or sex or and money. And when they use stuff like that, it's like it makes you remember vividly what was going on at that time and the emotion that it stimulates in your body. So for me now, I was like an ocean. When the tide of life hit me, I was like an ocean when the waves just like gushed out. Picture the ocean, big it is, and those big waves. You see, I was like the waves, just like splash all over people with my emotions and my feelings. But the only difference between me and the ocean had sandbanks and where the sea line, the shore stops. For me, I didn't have none of that. There's no time, no direction. You need to stop here. I just spew. I just like splash. That's when I was allowing my attitude and my emotions and my feelings to control me instead of the other way around. And thank God I am being more aware of that, because that's a major role in maturity. And it's not only mature physically, but to mature spiritually and mentally. So I've chosen to speak about 5 things that I believe is necessary to help us to build, grow, and shine. And the 5 thing that I'm going to be focusing on today is the stuff that I myself use, because I love to speak about what I use. There's so much more information out there, but I like to speak about what I have gone through, my personal experience. That's my power, and that's what I've used to overcome and share that. You may take some interest in that, but for me to gain emotional stability, how to release my trap emotion, knowing my triggers, and creating a shift and coping skill to help me to evolve and to grow. So 5 things that I'm going to try to cover today for 20 minutes. So for me to become emotionally stable, which is being able to withstand difficult situation and to be able to handle adversary and to remain reproductive in my life. These are some of the stuff that I did. I cultivated habits and routine that strengthen my mental health and well-being. Yes, I had to. I created my own. What did I do? So what I did was I started training my mind to see the good in every situation. That's a big one. Let me just say that again. I trained my mind to see the good in every situation. Every situation. It was not like that. My mind was always trained to see the fear and the bad in every situation. Yeah. I always, in my book, I spoke about, the snowball effect. When the at the top of the hill, you have this big snowball, and as it start rolling down, it start picking up more snow, and as it go down further, the more snow it pick up, the bigger it becomes, and by the time it reached to the end of the the roll down. It's so big, it's uncontrollable. And that was where I was. I was like, it's not like I consciously trained my mind to see the bad in everything. It was just my environment and my life. I was still sleeping. I was, a product of my environment. So I always was just seeing the negative or the bad in every situation. But what I did, I flipped the switch on that. I said, you know what? I'm going to train my mind to see the good in every situation. The next thing I did was at the end of each day, ask myself, no matter what I've been through, is how can I come out of this better and not bitter? You see, life could throw some balls, we call them curveball. Yes, curveball. Life could throw some curveball at you, and hold on. Life could throw some curveball. Hi, honey, how are you? And it will make you sometimes be like bitter. And that's never the goal. Because if you think about the snowball effect, when bitter comes alive or comes out of you and it start rolling down, what it's going to pick up? It's going to pick up like-minded thoughts in ways. You don't want that. You don't want to be bitter, mad, like angry, upset. You don't want that. You're like, okay, no, I'm not going back down that spiral effect. No, I'm changing this. What did I learn from that? I want to be better. So next time I don't do this. Next time I choose my words wisely. Next time I choose to do things differently. So it's always, how can I be better and not bitter? So that's the second thing I did. And the other thing is I focus on words that bring healing and freedom. And this is big. This is big because the voice that you listen to the most in your life is your voice. You talk about pep talk. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I talk to myself. Yes, you have to do that. Yes, I talk to myself. I'm like, oh, girl, good morning. How are you? Look at you, girl. You're so beautiful. You're smart. Oh, my God. You're God gifts to this world. Yes, because, okay. As our babies grow, we hug them and we hold them and we're like, oh my God, you're so pretty. You're so smart. If they're like 1 or 2 years old, she's saying her ABCs. She's saying her 1, 2, 3s already. And we tell them how good they are. And we're so proud of them, and it helped build their self-esteem and make them feel good about themselves. But we as adults, when we get older, even as wives and women or mother or whatever, sometimes and grandmothers, we don't have nobody to say to us, oh, you did a good job. You get up every day and you go put some work in to take care of this family. You're holding the fort down. You're just amazing. Look how strong you are. You're displaying some good qualities and characters. We, in ourselves, we know that we're doing what we're doing because we're women and we got to hold it down. But at the same time, we need somebody to say to us, hey, I see you, girl. I see you. And sometimes we don't have that. Sometimes we don't have that. So going into the mirror and talking to yourself, it's okay. Do it. Talk to yourself. Oh, Stephanie, you had a trying day yesterday, but I'm so I'm so proud of how you handle things. I'm so proud of how you ended it. I'm so proud that you don't retro back to your old ways of doing things. You tried something new. You are a little bit more open, girl. I see you trying. Talk to yourself. Yes. It's important to talk to yourself and give yourself that pep talk. So that's help with emotional stability, because what you're doing is building confidence. You're building confidence within yourself, and you're building yourself up. So I think that is important. The other thing is to be a flexible thinker. And when I say a flexible thinker, it's to be flexible, to be open. For me, if I could remember what the quote, it says, you didn't know what you didn't know because your mind wasn't open. I don't think I said it right, but my husband made a quote one day and he said that, and it didn't make sense to me till a couple of days ago. And I was like, oh, this is what it means. Because you see, when your mind is not open, and when I say open, let me explain that because I don't want people to take it wrong. Open mean okay. So when your mind is not open, you have a certain way of thinking, whatever you've learned all of your life, everything that you have acquired in your head, in what you deemed as good, bad, ugly, great, amazing, it's there. And you view life that way. So anything else that if somebody do something different from what you have learned, see, or understood before, you start like, you push them off, or you judge them, or you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense, because you're not open to the possibility that your way is not, you view life just through your own eyes. But people have had different experience, the environment in this. I always say this, look at chicken. Okay, let me not say look at chicken. In Jamaica, we cook curry chicken, we brown stew chicken. I come in America, they do teriyaki chicken. They do chicken. They fry it. You bake it, but it's still chicken. So, we're still human, but we do, and we approach life differently, and we do things differently. And being able to be open is to say, okay, how can we coexist in the same world when you don't have to do life the way I do? You don't have to see life the way I see it, because your experience is different. You are a different expression of God. I am a different expression of God. I can't say you have to look like this, be like this, act like this. Now, what kind of world would that look like? We're just like robots. We need some diversity. We need some color. We need some differences. So being able to be flexible, I'm learning that, and to be a flexible thinker, and sometimes go down to the level of another person and see their point of view, and embrace their point of view. That doesn't necessarily mean I agree with it, meaning I am not condemning it, but that doesn't mean that's something I would have to do. You set your own boundaries for your own self, but you don't shut it down. You understand? Because only a fool will call himself a wise man. Nobody knows it all. No, nobody knows it all. So, so being a flexible thinker, and also take responsibility. And this is a big one, because physically, yes, we know how to take responsibility physically, but mentally, because we have not trained our mind in a certain way, we don't know that part of us very well. Some of us, not all of us. Well, me at that time, I didn't take responsibility for my mental illness. And I say that because my emotion and my feelings was controlling me. If I see something in my mind telling me something, I feed right into it and I act upon it. I never judge it, never question it, never ask myself why, nothing like that, because I didn't know. I was still sleeping. So taking responsibility it comes with being aware of what's going on in your environment and your surroundings. So, and also not dwelling in your past. I used to say, how do you not? Like, why not? How remembering your past, what does that got to do with anything? I'm hot. Okay. Every day you get a new or a clean slate, right? And it's a brand new day. And it's a day where you say, okay, I'm still alive, so I'm still here. So, some people say you got more work to get done, or God is not done with you yet, or what can I do today? Because I have life. I'm breathing. I'm here today. So when you're here for another day, you get a brand new slate. You don't bring yesterday on today's plate. We are explorer. You explore today and you learn something. You be open to this. Sometimes your past can be a foundation in what you're building on, but sometimes it also could be a what you call it, when it's preventing you from growing, like you self-sabotaging due to what you know, or what you're attached to, or what's keep holding you back that you're not letting go of. And sometimes, they say you're married to your fears, or you're married to, sometimes you got to divorce your fears, divorce your hurt, your post-traumatic stress that you've been through, divorce them, let them go, let them be in the past, and now live in the present. And that was hard for me because I didn't know how to appreciate my present, because either I'm thinking about my past or thinking about my future. Well, I got to do this for my future. My past, but never living in the present and appreciating the people around me, the things, the time, and just living in that moment. And I think a lot of us are missing out on that, is living in the moment. It's always worried about, oh, we gotta go work. Oh, we gotta go pay the bills. We gotta go, we gotta think about this and the last, and when they did this, and it's never about just enjoy this day. Just enjoy this minute. Live in the present. And it's not that we don't know how to do it. It's doable. You just got to condition and train yourself to shut off, shut down, and be in the moment. So that's the first. That's the first one I want to talk about, being becoming emotionally stable. So those are some of the steps that I did to help me. The second thing I think is important to speak to tonight about is how to release your trapped emotion. Yes, I had some trapped emotion. They were trapped. And what I've been doing some research, and what I've learned to is that sometimes your emotion can change your physical structure of your body. So certain times you may look a certain way. Some people bend over with their back. Sometimes some emotion, give you back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain. It alter your structure. Sometimes, they say, okay, your stomach is this big, you got stress belly, or you got this, because they're powerful. They can alter the structure of your body. Sometimes I see when people losing weight, they look happier because they're letting go of some of the junk, not just the junk in the belly, not the junk in the belly, but the junk of in our minds. So it's how you shedding all of that. So it's learning how to release your trapped emotions. So we're dealing with mind here, not body today. So the first thing, in order to do that, you have to first be able to describe your feelings so you could better confront them. And growing up in Jamaica, I really didn't get I wasn't really hearing a lot about depression, anxiety. That wasn't a word that circulate a lot around. Maybe it did, but I didn't hear it. When I came to America and I was living in Miami and going to school, to college and stuff like that, being in different groups and around different people, those words come up a lot. I have depression, I have anxiety, I have depression and anxiety. And I was saying to myself, everybody in America have depression and anxiety. What is that? And it's not, and what I've come to understand is that sometimes there's other underlying emotional issues that are going on, but we just generalize it with depression and anxiety. Well, you got to understand that depression means something that you didn't get done. So if you're in a state in your life right now, you're like, okay, I'm going through midlife crisis. I thought at this age I should already have this, I should already have that. My life should have been here. I didn't get this done. I didn't go to school. I didn't get my degree. I didn't, oh, my relationship is like this. It's something in regret that you didn't get done. So it causes depression. So you're depressed about it. Anxiety is something in the future that you're afraid of. You're afraid of, not being able to meet the bills. You're afraid of, what if my relationship is going to get broken up? I'm afraid I will never get married. I'm afraid I'm not going to even have friends. I'm afraid of, I'm just throwing stuff out. So anxiety is fear of the future, and depression is stuff that you never get done. So why am I saying this? Because I realized that instead of just masking things, I like to dissect things, because that's where the healing take place. The pressing, when you got to turn that grapes into wine, you got to press it sometimes and go down to the core and deal with the issue, going down to your subconscious, because some wounds are deep. I had some deep rooted wounds and I had to go deep. My shallowness couldn't heal me. I was too deep. So for me, I had to dissect it. So you got to be able to first know how to describe your feelings, and not just, anxiety and depression. It could be, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because this is not going my way. Or, I am lonely. I am lonely. Whenever I see this person with her man or cousin or friend, I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff out. I was like, I'm wondering if I'm ever going to find somebody, if somebody's ever going to love me like this. So loneliness, come on. So you're not depressed. You're just lonely. You understand? Or I'm depressed because my friend not talking to me because she said this to this. No, you're not depressed. You're betrayed. She betrayed your trust. You understand what I'm trying to say? So use words to describe your feeling other than generalizing it, and deal with that issue specifically. Like my daughter would say to me, like, I was like, oh, I love you so much. I'm, my baby. And then the next time I'm mad with her, she was like, you were telling me last night you love me. I said, oh, baby, I love you. But I don't like the fact that you don't do what I tell you to do. I don't like that you don't take the dishes out the dishwasher. I don't like, though, I have to tell you go feed the dogs. But I love you. So when you deal with the issue, you separate yourself, So it's not like, oh, I have depression, I have anxiety. No. And that's why I feel it's important to go see a therapist. I am for that. For that. They're trained to take you through on a journey of healing. I'm so happy for the day I went into a therapist's office, because knowing me, I felt like I knew it all and I could fix it. But the therapist allowed me to see some things about myself, to learn some things about myself that I didn't know, and I had to unlearn and retrain the mind, remap the mind, recreate, transform, redeem, whatever you want to call it. Yes. So I think therapist is good. So yes, so you be able to describe your feelings, talk about your feelings. You seem like you're a little withdrawn. Why you're not talking? Just confront them. The other thing is change your environment. And when I say change your environment, I don't really mean I gotta check the time because I don't want to go over my time. So change your environment doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you're living home with your family to move out. No, that's not what I'm saying. Stephanie did not say that. No, I'm talking about like little things like the mood and the smell and the lighting. So if you're coming home and you're always feeling down and change the curtain. Instead of some dark curtain, put some bright yellow curtain, like my yellow couch, like bright and vibrant. Get some flowers, play some nice music, light a candle, turn certain TV movies off and put a certain movie on that with people laughing, confuse the brain. You see, what we don't understand is that the brain is designed to help you. And when I said to help you, it's always defending you. So it's always bringing anything you do. It's like, okay, this is uncomfortable. Now you're trying to my husband says this, and I think this is the perfect way to explain this. It's like the AC. You set the AC to 72 degrees, right? And then the house start getting hot. So the setting the AC to 72 is your normal. It's the subconscious. It's what you tell yourself as truth. So it start getting hot in the house. What is the AC going to do? It's always going to be fighting to take back that level to 72. You open the door and the air start coming in and the house start get hot. The AC start working harder to get back that atmosphere to 72. And that's what the brain does. It's always fighting, so you're going on a diet, it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel comfortable. Oh, this food don't taste good. I'm fighting you to come back to cheeseburgers and fries. I'm just saying. And that's where the battle is. And the battle is up here. It's in the mind. So changing your environment sometimes, if you're tempted, like if you're on a diet and you're tempted, don't go to a certain place to meet your friend. Meet them somewhere else where there's no food, where you can't smell it, or change your environment. If going over to the person's house it's makes you do things you don't want to do, meet them at the beach. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out. Change your environment. That helps too. Trick the brain, frustrate the brain. This one is the one that I think works and still working wonders in my life, and it's write it down. Yes. Write it down and write how to respond. It's like teaching yourself. Why I say that? Okay. I'm always, if my friend comes to me and she said, Stephanie, this is happening to me right now. And oh my God, I don't know what to do. And they're under so much stress and so much pressure. What am I going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach inside myself and I'm going to give her the best possible answer I could think of to help her, right? So I'm already going to be thinking rationally and I'm going to be thinking right because she's under pressure. She's under stress. So she may not be thinking, the right way. She might be thinking, just get me out of this. Like, whatever it is to escape the situation. I might be seeing it on a bigger picture because I'm not in the situation. I'm not feeling it like she's feeling it. So I'm going to give her some constructive advice. And I'm going to say, girl, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do this. The trick is when you are the one going through it. You see, it's great to say it. It's another thing to go through it. See, I could give you advice. Yes. I could tell you, but when you got to go through it and you got to feel it, it's a different thing. So when I write it down, I hear myself talking to myself. And because I'm doing that, I'm able to give myself better response, better advice. I now become my teacher and my healer. Right? Because if you don't write it down and you try to tell your mind is going to retro back to all the old ways you did it and you're going to end them back in the same place. You're not going to break the cycle. It's like insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. Write it down. And when you write it down, sometimes you go back and you read it and you're like, oh my God. Write it down. And when you write the issue down, write how you're going to respond. And when you read it, it's like you're hearing. So you're going to be like, wait a minute. I wouldn't tell my friend to do this. So why am I telling myself to do that? Right? So writing it down is very important. And the other thing is imagine the emotion. Hold on. I need to know imagine the emotion or feelings that you would like to feel. So if you're going through something or, imagine a feeling like, all right, imagine your life, how you want it to look, how you want it to feel, and create that feeling in your mind and see yourself walking out your front door, opening it, and the sun shining and the sun hitting and the wind hitting your face. I don't know how you're imagining it, but try to create that feeling in your mind. Because sometimes we say we want something different, but we don't even know what that feels like. We don't have even made ourselves feel that feeling before. And sometimes, I always hear, you never always feel the way you think it's going to feel. You watch some movies or some stuff and you say, oh my God, it's like, I couldn't wait till I graduated school. I was like, I didn't know what that feeling is going to feel like to get my degree. I'm a nuclear medicine technologist. And when I got my degree, it was just like, okay, I got my degree. But in my head, I thought I was going to feel something different. I was going to feel this, like, oh, this type of accomplishment. Yes. But sometimes you got to create that feeling of what it is that you wanting, that feeling of, oh, I am appreciated, or that feeling of support and love. And, whatever that feeling is that you think you need, create that in your mind and feel the feeling of it. Even in the scripture, when Jesus tell them how to pray, it says, when you pray, believing that you are already praying, believing that you already receive the feeling of it. So if you're praying for something, I'm praying for a car. Feel the feeling of driving in a car. Feel the leather on the car seat. Feel the steering wheel. Feel yourself driving in the car and looking out the mirror and seeing, driving into the parking lot. See it. Feel the feeling of it. Create that feeling and do it over and over again. I'm not saying every day, but do it. You are creating that feeling, and you are attracting that feeling, and allowing yourself to be open to that feeling. And now your brain starts saying, wait a minute, she's creating something new here. Instead of, I would never have this. Oh my God, I can't wait to have this. The brain is hearing that. So the brain is saying, okay, you won't have it then. Okay, you can't have it then, you know? So I think I already went to 46 minutes. So what I am going to do, because this is a very long topic, and I really, really feel like these are necessary to help us build, grow, and shine. You know, having that emotional health, and feeling the feeling of it, being able to differentiate our feelings and confront them specifically, you know, and so that we can grow, is important and is necessary. So what I'm gonna do, because of time, I just stopped at 2 because I have 5. So I'm gonna save the rest for next week. So what I am going to do now, I'm just gonna share the poem that I had chosen for tonight. The poem is as an unknown author. I don't know who wrote it, but it says unknown. But I think it was funny, and I think you guys will get a little joke from it. But it says, a wise physician said, the best medicine for human love, the best medicine for human is love. Someone asked, and if it doesn't work? He smiled and said, increase the dose. Dang, did you get it? So the wise physician said, the best medicine for human is love. Love is the portion. And somebody said, so what if it don't work? The physician said, all you have to do is increase the dose. So what does simple mean? Don't give up. Increase. If it's kindness, increase kindness. If it's love, increase the love. If it's forgiveness, increase the forgiveness. Increase. Don't stop when it gets hard. Stop until you get the result you're looking for. I'm going to share this one example because I think it's vital, and it's the example of babies. When babies are learning to walk, and I heard this and I was like, that hit me like a nail. When babies are learning to walk, do you give them a certain time to learn to walk? And you know, like, okay, 6 months to learn to walk. After 6 months, you're not going to do it anymore. Do you say stop? No. You let them try and try until they're all walking, right? Until it works. So keep on pressing, keep on pushing, keep on loving, keep on increasing until you get the results you desire. So from the yellow couch, expressing your feeling with honesty can be overwhelming at sometimes, but always keep in mind that it's always how the person feel. It's the experience. It's how you make a person feel. So, you know, when you're talking to somebody, when you're flooded with emotions, always remember it's how you make somebody else feel and how you leave yourself to feel. So see you next week. Meet me right here at 7 p.m. on the yellow couch. We are going to continue with this topic because I think it's necessary to build, grow, and shine. And I am so loving this topic. So come with some questions. I love questions. Come with some questions. Next week, we're going to continue with emotions and feelings. So have a wonderful week. I'm going to see you guys next week. Okay. Bye. And don't forget, go on Amazon and check out my new book, Evolve by Stephanie Harrington. I share some life stories in there and some life transforming stuff that I've been through in my life and how my life has changed for the better. I'm evolving to love. Okay. Bye. Have a wonderful week.